What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Glad to have you again here with us. The discussion continues. Please do this before you continue. Subscribe if it's not done yet. It's a little bit uncomfortable. It's a little bit uncomfortable for me to ask you to subscribe. And everybody does it. Like, do this, subscribe. You want to be here. We need to be together so we can be stronger, grow this community. All right. So today we're talking about the president of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni. Very interesting person, very strong figure of the African scene right now. He had an interview with CNN and many other journalists. So we're going to watch what he has to say, and then I'll make a comment right after. Let's go.
Jane Virgie, CNN, the West. They do make it an issue. They have been making it an issue for many months now. Many in the international community are saying that by your signing of this bill, you're taking Uganda a step backwards, that you are not protecting the freedoms and the rights and the choices of the Ugandan people.
For context, Barack Obama made a comment. You remember Barack Obama? Yeah, the former ex-president of that guy. Barack Obama made a comment about something that's happening in Uganda. Uganda is an independent country in Africa. Obama made a comment and with regard to the president of Uganda, and he had some things to say. This guy's always fire. So let's listen. Let's go.
So how do you respond to that? And specifically, President Obama has said he was deeply disappointed by Uganda's move and says that it would complicate US-Uganda relations. I've listened to everything that you've said in the statement. So how would you respond to that? And does it worry you? And have you spoken directly to President Obama about this?
Obama is disappointed. Obama? The guy that took out Gaddafi?
Well, we have been disappointed for a long time by the conduct of the West, the way you conduct yourselves there. But we just keep quiet. We just see how you do things, how the families, how they are organized, in all these things. We see them, we keep quiet. We never comment because it's not our country. Maybe you like it. So, since there's now an attempt at social imperialism, to impose social values of one group on our society, then our disappointment is now exacerbated because we are sorry to see that you live the way you live, but we keep quiet about it. Now you say we must also live like us. That's why we say no. We say no. And am I worried? Not at all. We should be worried about what? Because to tango needs two people to dance. If the West doesn't want to work with us because of homosexuals, then we have enough space here to live by ourselves and do business with other people.
Very, very interesting, as you can see. This man doesn't mash his word. He says it like it is. He doesn't play. He doesn't have time for any nonsense. He doesn't have time. And I think really being part of the military, being a soldier, plays a big role to that. I don't know if you've noticed, especially in Africa, president, after being military or soldier personnel, tend to be very strong figures. They know what they want. They're very strong in their position. They're not intimidated, not easily at least. President Museveni, at this stage of his life, is afraid of nothing, clearly. So let's listen again to what they say. I'm going to make a comment as they're talking.
We have been disappointed for a long time.
We have been disappointed for a long time. He's telling you that, we have been disappointed for a long time.
By the conduct of the West.
By the conduct of the West.
The way you conduct yourselves there. But we just keep quiet.
We have been disappointed for a long time by the conduct of the West. But we don't make mention of anything. We don't complain about your conduct. Okay, you do a lot of things in your side, in your country, that we do not necessarily agree upon. But we don't make noise about it. We don't come and complain. Well, you have voted this law. We did not vote that law. You're not helping the homeless in New York. You're not helping the black community get better. We don't complain about that. We don't get involved in your internal situation. That's your business. That's nothing to do with us. We've been disappointed for a long time for things that are happening. All these African Americans being stopped by the police and not getting out of their cars alive. We have been disappointed for a long time. But we don't get involved in your internal businesses.
We just see how you do things, how the families, how they are organized, in all these things, we see them, we keep quiet.
We see your family, how it's organized. We see your family. Look at the president, how he's organized. We see your family and how your family are. But all those things, we don't talk about it.
We never comment.
We never comment.
Because it's not our country. Maybe you like it.
Maybe you like it.
Since there's now an attempt at social imperialism.
An attempt to social imperialism. That means you're trying to transpose the things that you do in your country to bring it everywhere else in the world. Just because you adopt a certain way of life does not necessarily mean we have to think and do and act like you. No.
To impose social values of one group on our society, then our disappointment is now exacerbated. Because we are sorry to see that you live the way you live.
We are sorry to see that you live the way you live. We are sorry to see your situation, okay? But don't bring it up on us. We don't need it.
But we keep quiet about it. Now you say we must also live like us. That's why we say no. We say no. And am I worried? Not at all. We should be worried about what? Because to tango needs two people to dance. If the West doesn't want to work with us because of homosexuals, then we have enough space here to live by ourselves and do business with other people.
Thank you.
This is a country that belongs to Africans. It's a free country. It's named Uganda. It's not the United States of America or anything else. They have the right to choose their laws, the right to choose their way of life, the right to live the way that's appropriate to them, to their culture, and to their tradition. Nobody comes to your country and imposes you a way of life. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't go with democracy. As much as democracy is letting people live the way they want, democracy is also respecting other people's culture and tradition. Let me just remind you, for those of you who don't know, a few weeks ago, we reported something here after, Kamala Harris came to Africa, making a campaign, going to Ghana, through many other countries, trying to ask Africans to accept our brothers LGBT into the society, which is generally not accepted in African societies. Finally, the president of Uganda was not okay with that. America was supplying a lot of money to people living with HIV in Uganda, and they decided to stop the aid, to stop completely the help that they provided to these people. Now, my question remains, were you really helping these people suffering with HIV, or are you just trying to use this as a tool to make people do things that you want them to do? Because by you stopping providing the money that you were giving them to supposedly hate them, are you helping them? You're not helping them. Do you really think by stopping that money, by not sending that money to Uganda, you punishing the president? You're not punishing the president. You are punishing the people you're supposed to be helping. Is it really about those people, or it's about control? That's a big question. And then again, a few weeks ago, for those of you who remember, the embassy of the United States in Kampala rose a flag, the LGBT flag, in defiance against Uganda. Yes, we do understand that the ground of the embassy in each country is independent. It's a free ground. It belongs to that country. However, why all this time that flag has never been flown? Why they have never flown the flag? They just shows in a specific moment, very sensitive moment, when Uganda and the US is not collaborating properly, exactly because of this very specific reason. Why do you specifically choose that time to fly that flag? It's defiant. Yes, it is the United States ground. Embassy belongs to the country that occupies it. However, when you fly the flag very high, you're sending a message to people, a defiant message. Why don't they do that in Saudi Arabia? Why don't they do that in Qatar? Why don't they do that in all these other Muslim powerful countries? Yes, because of oil. So you can't defy Uganda because you get nothing from Uganda directly, but you cannot do the same in Saudi Arabia. Is that fair? No, doesn't make sense. So in other words, just like the bully next door, you're going to do things the way I want you to do them. If you don't do them, then I'm going to defy you. If I defy you and you open your mouth, then we're going to send you democracy. We're going to beat you up because we're stronger than you. Again, I firmly believe that people have the right to live freely, to do their own things, to make their own choices. But in the same token, people need to respect where they are. I think that's what it is. You cannot go to India and start greeting people the way you want to greet them because you feel that's how you should greet them. You cannot go to Saudi Arabia and touch a woman in her hand. No, it doesn't work like that. To them, respect is you greet somebody's wife from a distance. You can't bring your culture and impose to them and saying they are backward. Doesn't make sense. What qualifies you as forward for you to say other people are backward? I don't know. You can do anything you want, provided that you respect other people's culture. I think there are many people in Uganda that are actually LGBT. But the law of Uganda say you can live being LGBT, but you cannot show it off. You cannot promote it. You cannot do promotion of it. You cannot show public love. You can't do that. Same as if you go to Arab countries and you're not married, you cannot sleep in the same bedroom with your girlfriend. Yeah, in Europe and USA, you can do that. In Arab countries, you're going to get arrested for that. In order for a man and a woman to sleep in the same bedroom in a hotel, they need to provide a certificate of marriage. Yeah, that's part of their culture. Do people get upset about that? No. You just know when you go to these countries, you need to conduct yourself in an appropriate way, in what that corresponds in the way they live. If you go to Dubai, there are certain areas you can't dress up the way you want. You cannot wear very short. That's part of their culture. Do people condemn them for that? No, they don't. You come to Dubai, you want to have a good time, you respect the way people live in Dubai. That's how it is. Let me know how you feel about this. It's clear President Museveni doesn't give a about what they have to say about him. And again, in defiance, he went to Russia for a visit just to show, you know what, you can keep your money, you can keep your visas, you can do whatever you want, because right after this incident happened, they cancelled visas of some politicians in Uganda. Yes, so making the visa process very difficult. Even those who have had visas in the past already, those visas were cancelled because they chose to go through this route. Again, we want everybody to be good, everybody to be free and do their own things. Just don't do your things and let your freedom stamp on other people's freedom. Let me know how you feel about this, fellas. It's always a great pleasure to read you. Please join the crew. Let's make this much bigger than it is already. It's always a pleasure to have you. I'm going to speak to you again very soon. God bless.